I want to talk about the proper way to set up multi-factor authentication and even go over the ways that it actually, by default, kind of sets up, and then from least to greatest, what is the best way to set it up. So, of course, previous video, I talked about what multi-factor authentication is and how it works. So refer back to that if you have questions about that. But whenever you're setting up multi-factor authentication, generally it's going to set up three different ways. It's going to set up either via email or text or possibly an authenticator app. And I'm going to have another video that talks about the three kind of mainstream authenticator apps that I think that you should be using. Well, first off, email would be the very weakest form, because let's say that someone had access to your email and they had your username and password, and then it emails them the code to log in. It kind of negates the whole multi-factor thing, because they have what you know and they also have what you have, which is an email with that in it. And that has happened pretty, not, I wouldn't say common, but it has happened a lot. If you have no other way but to get multi-factor set up via email, set it up via email. But do that as a last resort if you have these other two ways. The next way would be texting, where you basically you enter in your username, your password. It sends you a text, and then you enter that code, and it allows you to get in. There's been a few cases where they've actually been able to clone phones and do some things, intercept that text, and can get can get you by being able to have both what you know and what you have. Not as common. That would be the second best way. The third best way and would be using an authenticator app, and that's an app like Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, or a product like Duo. And I'm going to talk about that. And ultimately what happens then is you put in your username and password. It either has a code that you can pull up off your phone, or there's even little key fobs, little boxes that can generate that code that you can get. They're about 10, 20 bucks if you don't want to have your users, have to use their personal device for those types of things. One of the cool things about multi-factor authentication that I'll go ahead and drop in here is that, let's say that you have an employee and they go rogue, or they quit and they won't bring you their phone back or whatever. If you go take away that multi-factor, if you're using the authenticator app, you just delete them out of the authenticator app. And they can have all the usernames and passwords they want, but without the authentication of that multi-factor device, they're not able to get in. So you could just disable that, and you basically disarm them. If you have questions, you'd like to know more about multi-factor authentication, just let me know. I'd be happy to help you.